You can start.
Thank you so much. Welcome to all my lovely and dear people. Warm greetings from Georgia. I'm Inga Harchulava, IIU Europe Head, Country Director IIU Georgia, IIU Board Member. I am very glad that we are together again and we are waiting for news from young students. Special thanks to our founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit, for this opportunity. Million thanks, IIU best time. Thank you, best team. Yes, really. Yes, today is August 13th. This day will be recorded in history is one of the most important days because today the first conference of our new project will be held, and today we have students from Albania, Romania, Azerbaijan, and Georgia. Wow, welcome all. This is already the second project. After listening to the new vision of European teachers, it is time to listen to European young people and dedicate the IIU stage. This is a doubly important fact for me, for IIU, for us. Perhaps some people will ask, why European anyway? My answer is, as the leader of Europe, I try to give the country of Europe a voice. We have many international projects at IIU. Join us, please. Now, I am looking forward to meeting our young people, and now I think it is time to declare our conference open. And now I have a surprise for you. And before we start the conference, I want to open our working day, beautiful day, important day, and to invite an amazing Albanian students who will beautiful our conference. Welcome, Danny. Can you hear me?
Hello, yes.
Please, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, my pleasure.
So, hello everyone. Thanks for inviting me. And today I've prepared for all of you a beautiful piece, a musical piece in piano. I hope you enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wow, this is really amazing, wonderful. Thank you, my pleasure. God bless you. Thank you so much. I think we are all in a good mood, and it is time to hear the now voice of the young people. Today's important day will be led by an excellent, wonderful educator and successful teacher, Miss Aida Eliazova, to the Deputy Director of Azerbaijan IIU. She is really great person and always ready to support us. She is always with IIU. Welcome, my dear.
Wow. Welcome, everyone. Thanks, Inga, for such kind of words, for warm greeting. Thanks, everyone. Thanks to our audience. They always with us. They always support us. Yes, today is really an important day and another day of our project. You know, we always had teachers presented their skills, they're sharing their experiences. But for me, today's presentation is more important because our students, they will represent their countries, they will represent and they will show their skills and their knowledge. You know, I think that the best thing of the teacher representing not himself, but his students' work. And this way we can see the teacher's result by his students' work. As Inga says, I am always with IIU. Why? Because IIU, International Internship University, the first virtual global university building a better and brighter future for all young learners, and is committed by providing quality, accessible, affordable, skill-based virtual education to all the young learners of the globe, with the aim to provide internship opportunities and research facilities, as we are doing today's presentation. IIU is metaphorizing the conventional education system by cutting down the additional costs and providing access to more than 1,000 and plus courses and internships to their e-learners across the globe. IIU has been accredited and affiliated with the World Education Organization, an international accreditation organization, and collaborated with all the world's top universities and educational institutions through the platform of massive open online courses. And I'm sure that most of you know what is MOOC. Today IIU has spread its wings in 195 countries and 6 continents. So, who is the person is behind the success of IIU? Is none other than the founder of IIU. It is Mr. Piyush Pandit, sir, a committed and aspiring social activist, a passionate educationist from the last 2 decades, providing education for students from various social and cultural backgrounds, possessing excellent administrative, verbal communication, and written skills, a next-gen speaker and passionate writer, the founder of Swapa Brahat Power and chairman of Piyush Group. Hearts of his dedication and hard work. Thanks, Mr. Piyush Pandit, for your work, for uniting all of us, for motivating us, supporting and uniting not only the educators, but even the students around the world. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, IIU team. thanks all the administrators, thanks to coordinators and country directors for warm greeting in this family and support everyone. Okay, I think it's time to start our today's session and give the stage to our students. It is their turn to speak now. So the first student who will speak, the first speaker is Tone Razwan. Let's welcome him. Victor Slavica High School from 2015-2019. Excellence course in mathematics 2017 and 2019. For CISCO, CCNA networking and troubleshooting models. He is 20 years old. He likes learning about different interesting topics, likes history, science, and engineering. This year, he started going to dancing course and has really learned several moves. Wow, great, respect. He spends his free time doing things. He likes reading books, playing strategy, and role-playing games on his computer. He also likes going to a swimming pool, and that is not from his house where he lives. He likes both cats and dogs and always liked cats more than dogs because his neighborhood always had several wild cats. Since he lived in an apartment, he never had cat dog, but he had a turtle when he was small. His cousin lives in a village between Bucharest and Ploiești. He has 4 dogs and he found abandoned 2 years ago, so he have seen how hard it is to take care of one. Okay, so the stage is yours, and I'm sure you have lots of information to tell us. Please, Razwan, stage is yours. Your microphone, please.
Welcome, Razwan, and good luck. He's today a honor guest. Thank you, Miss Ermina, also.
My pleasure.
Razwan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, go ahead. Good luck.
Thanks. Equality in education change in Europe. Despite maintaining average performance over the last 16 years, the education system across the EU has faced worsening inequality and increasing poverty in education, which refers to inadequate levels of basic proficiency, which is hurting the most disadvantaged students in the society. The EU country with largest population of the European Union, Germany, has seen improvements between socioeconomic groups. However, so Scandinavian countries have shown smaller differences between socioeconomic groups than the Mediterranean countries, Italy, Greece, Spain. Education poverty and inequality is affected in other areas, such as school living. High students are living. The levels of education poverty found in the EU are nonetheless very similar on average. Most countries with low development is there is consistent performance gap between students with top bottom socioeconomic that persisted in Europe over the years, but still the gap hasn't changed. The gap of the inequality has increased. It's substantially over in France. Maintaining high levels of equality requires constant efforts from public makers. Education poverty among students on the bottom socioeconomic increased over 2015. These countries pay rates much more in line with the EU average of 47%. In Finland, education poverty among students from the lowest socioeconomic quintiles increased from 11 to 42%, and in the Netherlands, it rose from 13 to 47%. Modern example is the Czech Republic from 27 to 62. In the EU, students from the lowest socioeconomic backgrounds don't have a chance of becoming top performers. Only 1% of students from the low socioeconomic levels reach the top levels of performance, and only 7% from the poorest levels reach a moderate level of students. The overall percentages of poor students in Europe suggestion that even pure students study hard, if very few will be able to escape the present condition. Many countries fail to retain students in the playing field. For instance, in Southern Europe, the chances of individuals leaving the school system due to a socio-economic background is on the rise, despite improvements in society and education poverty. There's no single reason why inequality has increased over the last few years in many countries. Often it's a combination of several policies that has a negative effect on education quality. The experience of the EU countries and really almost any other country in the world shows that it's hard to turn around low-performing students and to maintain low levels of inequality. School segregation arises when households from similar socioeconomic schools effectively separating richer and poorer students. For example, schools serving mostly lower income students tend to be organized and operated differently than those serving affluent students. School cultures can also be based towards children of highly educated parents who have segregation practices within the schools, such as access to classes. The students learn by linking new information to prior knowledge. And students' prior knowledge comes from both formal and informal settings, everyday observations, hobbies, media, friends, parents, and school. When students find themselves socially segregated, the fact that their peers may be experiencing similar difficulties can influence their knowledge, their attitude towards school, the amount of homework they do, the number of rigorous courses they select, and the perception of the returns to education. For example, poorer students may see fewer older role models who have serious investments in education. Ensure students access to peers with larger achievements proportional from. Following this dual accounting intermission, there is substantially reduced the social segregation. There are also indications that the gap in school resources between schools of wealthy and poorer students has grown wider over the years. Overall, in almost all EU member states, students from poorer backgrounds suffer from worse school equality. Education staff shortages are more prevalent among students with poorest socioeconomic than wealthiest peers. Spending on education is very varied in the European Union and reflects the very different country priorities on education. Some countries spend about 7-8% of the GDP for education. Denmark and Finland, for example, while others, including Bulgaria and Romania, spend no more than 4%. The level of education spending as part of GDP over the last 15 years is relatively stable, but it's not kept up with the increase in enrollment in preschool, upper secondary, and higher education. See, the spending and resources has spent more than it. Nonetheless, the EU has since 20,000 relatively high levels of access for primary and secondary education in many countries. Thus, access to education was not necessarily the main cause for the lack of learning. Addressing systemic challenges, the work of building an inclusive school network and the consequence of inequitable tracking. Among other things, the policies to include adequate planning of the allocation of students to seasonable areas and assignment. All these measures can help reduce the stakes of students to be condemned to inadequate outcomes and promote a more inclusive school network. Reduce student repetition. Enough countries in Europe share similar promotion schemes for students.
Oh, provide.
Belgium, France,
Yes, I'm never
Portugal,
gonna. Oh, do tomorrow. Oh, okay.
Please,
Please.
with your microphone, please.
School in Belgium, France, and Portugal and Spain made excessive use on student retention. This disproportionately affects students from the lowest classes. When most students to acquire the basic skills necessary to go on, thus severely limit the potential to succeed. Prevent EU countries from excessive and ineffective use of student retention. But combination of targeted schools and student level policies is needed. This could include among other things total individualized support and tutoring to students at risks, early diagnosis of learning disadvantages, compensatory programs such as summer schools. At the same time, given the cultural roots of the problem that are implicated in schools, day-to-day practices, initiatives that raise teenagers and principals' awareness of the issue. Why more schools are focusing on the sustainability, the climate change, scarcity of resources and alternative energy. It's easy to see that sustainability is a major topic of concern. The way for sustainability is about major industries, corporations, and governments that work towards a common goal. The lifestyle choices are hard to make when you're already older and accustomed to a certain way of living. That's why it's important to get such a lifestyle in people of young age. Many schools are starting to focus on sustainability, giving an example to more of friendly, eco-friendly lifestyle. Many must have grown being reminded about simple things like turning off the lights when not in use or segregating trash. Simple. But today it's advised to go completely plastic free. The use of recyclable papers when uses. We should unplug electrical devices from outlets even not in use. While these methods might weigh home at school and homes, as a result, every does change in teaching children new methods of eco-friendly living. You may have been aware of similar programs when we were school children. Many of us would have become aware of trash segregation of electricity recycle. In schools in international school, sustainability is at the core of everything we do. As you can see, we also recently, in celebration of Earth Day, taking a step further with a very conservation award that upholds eco-friendly values, paving a way for generations of students who will aspire to eco-friendly lifestyles. Thanks for audience. I'm sorry, but I had a lot of emotions. For me, it's the first time when I had a speech in front of so many people. Thanks again.
Thank you, Razvan. So it was your first time speaking in front of so many people in the live, but you did it in a perfect way. You did in a best way. You were very perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Now from Romania, we will move to Albania. Albania and the permanent student Bezjana Zrika from Albania. She is 15 years old. She studies at Beti Milka School and lives in Tirana, Albania. She is in the 9th grade. She is an excellent student and the president of her school. She loves biology and math. She is awarded with very good prizes in international different competitions. Her hobbies are volleyball, and she's the captain of her team. And also her hobbies is listening to music, reading, and taking pictures. Okay, Bezrana, the stage is yours, please.
Welcome, Bezjana. Good luck, my dear, and thank you very much, Rina Biba also. Best wishes. Please mute microphone, please.
Hello, I'm Petrana Zika, and the topic I have chosen to discuss today is climate change. So this is a very big problem nowadays in our Earth because climate change refers to long-term shifts of temperature with weather, and there are different patterns of weather that refers to climate change. These were very natural before 1080. In our last decade, we're talking about because they weren't caused by humans or things they did. After 1080s, they were caused by humans, mostly by burning oil, gas, etc. And these climate changes are causing a lot of problems on Earth, humanity, or animals. All of this, some of the problems that they cause are intense drought that can damage people's habitat, living communities, livelihoods, and also a lot of animals. Other than this are storms, are different weather patterns that can damage a lot of the grains or the products that people raise. All of this can cause a lot of damage, and so this is why nowadays climate change is a very big problem for us. A lot of communities, governments discuss this as a problem, and a lot of people have started to do a lot of things about this, like USA, China, etc. Burning oil was something that is replaced now with not car with fuels that are with air or battery or with the energy of sun or with energy that can be repurposed. So because all the climate changes harm animals, and animals are very important for us because they produce a lot of things that we eat or other things like all the biology that we do. Other than these things, after 180 was very climate change was a lot of problem because people have a very big problem with difference in weather. You don't know what to wear or other problems that can cause a lot of bad things. So other than this, we have problems in storms, in heat waves that cause a lot of damage in a lot of countries, and rising sea levels that are most caused by the melting ice that is changing because the weather is hitting where it shouldn't be. Other than these, warming oceans that were before cold and now they are drowning off, or the sea level are damaging them because the weather patterns are very bad. Climate change is a problem that now is mostly replaced with all of those things, but it's not very gone because it is continuing, like it is with the ozone that is damaging a lot of things, and this should now be more discussed either in meetings or either in school, that children should listen to this. They can either use bicycles because it's very easy instead of cars, and this is a very good education for the kids. I'm very front of this discussion in schools, or it should be a subject. And in the meetings like this, because everyone should be self-aware about this problem that is, even if it's not discussed in every place, it's a very big problem for our world. This is something that I wanted to discuss today because it seemed to me like a very big problem, and it should be now replaced because we have our chances to replace it. This is what I wanted to discuss today.
Thank you, Bezjana, for your valuable words, for your caring our nature, for raising such global problems. Thank you very much. You know, when we can hear such kind of problems that our generation, new generation, is worrying about the global warming and natural problems, we can be sure that in future you will not you won't let our nature to be destroyed, and you will care of our planet. Thank you, because we all really need to keep the planet well for our children, for our future generation.
Yes.
Thank you for raising such kind of global problems. Thank you
Thank
for your
you. It was a very
presentation.
nice pleasure to join you.
So much.
Great. Keep going ahead and solving all the problems all together. And again, thanks, Mr. Piyush Pandit, for joining such unique, young, wonderful people, and I'm sure all you together, you will solve the natural problems. So we are continuing our today's session, and now from Albania, we are moving to Georgia. In Georgia, there is a wonderful and pretty girl and student by name Tamar Kabanadze. So she studies in the Staponi Schools Public School number 7. And also she studied in private school Anabasisi. Her favorite subjects are mathematics and art, and her hobbies is drawing, knitting, and cooking. So pretty, the stage is yours. Please join and tell us your valuable thoughts about today's global problems.
Welcome, Tamar. Welcome. Good luck, my lovely.
Hello. So today I prepared a presentation. So let me share.
Okay, you can share.
Yes.
So beautiful.
We're waiting, and very soon Tamar will share her screen and will share with us her research, maybe, and it's really interesting for us and for me especially what she has prepared for us and what she will touch.
I don't
what kind
know
of
why,
program.
but I have not permission for this.
Okay, she doesn't have permission. Just let her make her co-hoster.
Try again.
So do you see my presentation?
No, 1 minute.
No, we can't see yet.
Tamam, biraz yere Газlı. Сначала басар газlı. Ay газlı.
Okay,
Okay.
So
Perfect.
perfect.
Go ahead.
yes, my project is about Sustainable Development Goal number 2, zero hunger. Yes, my name is Tamar Kapanaze. I'm 16 years old and studying in school Anabasisi. So you may all know what is sustainable development is, but let me
Aruncă și puneți salta,
Yeah.
că mai am eu aici.
Microphones, please, everyone.
Is referred to as an idea that human beings should sustain by meeting their basic needs while also making sure that the future generation are able to meet their basic needs. So there is the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, also known as Global Goals, were adopted by the United Nations in 2015 as the universal calls to action and end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that by 2030 all people enjoy space and prosperity. So when my teacher told me first time about this sustainable development, I asked, is this goal sorted by necessity or how? And I asked, for example, why does no poverty is not last goal and the zero hunger is not first? So she told me that all of these goals are equally necessary, and we should all reach it by 2030 to live, have a good life. I'm going to talk about zero hunger, goal number 2. I want to tell that all goals are equally necessary and important, but hunger limits human abilities. Hungry person can think about quality education, gender equality, and so. And famine is the biggest obstacle of sustainable development. Yes, hunger is leading cause of death in the world. Over 244 million people, 1 in 8, are hungry. The sustained situation is worsening in South America and most regions of Africa. With enough food to feed everyone on the planet, why are there so many hungry people? So poor harvesting has, as well as food wastage, was contributed to food scarcity. Wars have also had negative impact on the availability of food and have led to destruction of environment, which is critical to grow food. For example, situation in Ukraine. So, what can we do about this to reach zero hunger? First things first, buy local and in-season food. Try to grow some of your own food. About this one, buying local food is very important. And in Georgia, we have so many farms, and this is not problem to. It's unnecessary to buy important food for us. And about grown, some I really like this work. For example, I have grown lemons in my room. I just plant seeds and they grown by their own, and I really love them. So next up is share needless food. It's a common situation when you're going grocery store for bread and coming out full of bag with and stuff, some things you don't need them. Instead of throwing them out, you can share them to people who need this. Next one is my favorite, buy imperfect food. And by this, I mean that funny food that are not perfectly shaped or colored as it should be, but taste is same. For example, in Georgia, we have pink tomatoes that are not quite similar that red ones and perfectly colored ones, but still taste good. And this is really necessary to buy this imperfect food. Next one is consume less meat and become vegetarian for 1 day or week. This 1 day you might think that not enough, but trust me, this will do too much for this earth. And next one, plan events, presentations about zero hunger. And we also doing this now. And next one is only words can change this planet. We should all move, take an action and do something for this planet to our better future. And I would like to show our technology and present the photo materials of the charity event. My school has been successfully running charity events for years, in which the entire school community is actively involved. We regularly collect food to help the poor, large families, lonely society, vulnerable elderly, nursing homes, and orphanages. Yes, this is the photo material. Yes. And this was my presentation. Thank you all for listening.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you, Tamar, for your great presentation. Thank you. I really like your ways of solving these problems. Sometimes we just only show the problems, but to solve them, and you mentioned in a perfect way that only words isn't enough for solving these problems. We must act, not just telling about the problems. We must do something. And great pictures that your charity events and so on. And I really liked about the idea just to grow ourselves food.
Yes, and this is my lemon that I wait. Let me just a second. Look, I didn't expect them to grow. I just plant seeds, and this is like 2 months old lemon, and I wish it will grow faster.
Perfect, perfect. And you know, seeing such kind of motivated students in really, I would say, I'm sure that we are in a safe hands and our future will in a safe hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, congratulations, Tamar. Give what's up.
Hope that in future you will have a big farm and you will plant your food yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Well done.
Great, great. So from this pretty girl from Georgia and from this great presentation, we move to our neighborhood country, which is Azerbaijan. Everyone knows that Azerbaijan and Georgia are bordering and they are very great friends and neighbors. So in Azerbaijan, there is a city named Ganja, and in Ganja, there is a wonderful and pretty girl and student, Inara Azizova. So Inara Azizova, she is taking part in a twinning project. She has 2 projects, My Wonderful Land and My Name is Leader. She is in the 9th grade and she has finished her 9th grade exams in a successful way. She has participated in spelling bee contest, and she was one of the finalists. She had ELAC and MOOC courses. She got access to summer camp held by American Center and US Embassy. And also she has participated in virtual CRS held by the Louis August Jones Foundation. So Inara, if you are here, I think that some problems internet connection has, and Inara, she was here with us and now she is not here. So we can move to another student, and later when she has solved her internet problems, she will join us as soon as possible. Okay, never mind. Sometimes it happens. Just it is not. It's live event, and we are depend on internet connection. Sometimes it breaks. So we will move to another pretty girl, which you have seen, and she played for you in the piano. I really liked your piano. You're playing the piano, Denny. Denny,
Hello.
hello, Denny. Just, I will tell some words to the audience about you. Would you like to tell me, or would you like to tell yourself?
You can say it.
Okay, great. So, Denny Dimash is 14 years old. She is from Albania and she studies at Betty Muke School. She is a really hardworking girl and we can see it. She loves science. Her hobbies are listening music, recycling things, making handicrafts, writing essays, playing piano, playing basketball, painting and drawing, and foreign language. She is a brand ambassador of IDYM, US ambassador of Chill Parker International, member of Positive Thoughts, great, member of Global Friends Club, GFC. She is awarded with prizes in national and international competitions. Okay, Demi, the stage is again yours, please.
Thank you. I've prepared a presentation about climate change and I want to share it with you.
Yes, you can.
Climate change. What is climate change? Climate change includes both global warming driven by human-inducted emissions of greenhouse gases and the resulting large-scale shifts in weather patterns. Though there have been previous periods of climatic change since the middle 20th century, humans have had an unprecedented impact on Earth's climate system and caused change on a global scale. The causes of climate change are waste, breeding, deforestation, and industry. Waste. The disposal and treatment of waste can produce emissions of several greenhouse gases, which contribute to global climate change. The most significant greenhouse gases is produced from waste in methane. It is released during the breakdown of organic matter in landfills. The future of livestock will be driven by the continued increase in the global human population, by an equal distribution of wealth, and by the continued increase in demand for livestock products that are highly nutritious and socially sustainable. Deforestation. Deforestation is a key contributor to human-caused climate change. When forests are cleared or burned, they release the carbon they store. Removing trees also diminishes an important carbon sink that takes up carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Industry. Heavy industry is responsible for around 22% of global carbon dioxide emissions. 42% of that comes from combustion to produce large amounts of high-temperature heat for industrial products like cement, steel, and petrochemicals. Which are the consequences of climate change? The consequences are sea level rise, extreme weather conditions, increased precipitation, and frost-free season. Expenditures in the world. Climate change in Albania. This profile provides an overview of climate risk issues in Albania, including how climate change will potentially impact agriculture, water resources, human health, coastal zones, ecosystems, and energy and infrastructure. The brief includes an overview of Albania, the climate and projected changes. Also included is information on sector impacts and vulnerabilities to climate change, the policy context, and information regarding ongoing climate change projects in Albania. Albania is a small country with a fragile economy reliant on the services, industrial, and agriculture sectors, and faces a range of challenges in addressing climate change risks. The vulnerability of Albania's energy supply and agriculture sector to climatic changes, combined with a series of recent heavy floods and landslides, are elevating climate change preparedness as a priority with Albania's development planning. Climate projections in Albania include increases in temperature, more extreme weather with droughts and heat waves, and rainfall variability with decreasing summer averages. Albania's mostly mountainous landscape is home to abundant water resources, rich biodiversity, and an extensive coastline. The country's agriculture sector, which is predominantly subsistence level farming, has driven deforestation and erosion, exacerbating flood and landslide risks. Most of the population lives within the coastal zone, which not only alters coastal ecosystems but exposes communities and infrastructure to storms, flooding, and eventual sea level rise. Albania is vulnerable to fluctuations in precipitation with negative implications for the country's hydropower supply. Extreme weather events, air quality, and communicable diseases are property human health risks under a changing climate. The energy sector dominates greenhouse gas emissions, largely driven by transportation, manufacturing, and construction. These are some pictures that are caused from climate change in Albania, but still my country is very beautiful and I invite all of you to visit it. Facts about climate change. Fact 1. The global temperature on an average has increased by 0.6 to 1 degree Celsius till the 20th century. 2. The United States constitutes 5% of the world population and contributes to 22% of the world's carbon emission. Fact 3. Around 15% of the carbon released in the environment is due to deforestation and change in the use of land. Fact 4. The golden toad is the first species to go extinct due to climate change. Fact 5. In recent times, half of all amphibians are at risk of extinction due to climate change. Many argue that extinction is a natural phenomenon, but anyways, I don't think so. Tips for the climate change. Make your voice heard by those in power. Eat less meat and dairy. Cut back on flying. Leave the car at home. Reduce your energy use and bills. Respect and protect green spaces. Invest your money responsibly. Cut consumption and waste. Think green. Thank you very much.
Wow, big clap.
Great,
Thank you.
great, Denny.
Thank you.
Great for the great, thanks for the great presentation. You touch very important out the points, and I'm sure your voice will be heard, and all together you will solve all the climate change problem and some natural problems. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing such kind of students, such kind of young generations, people, so make me really proud. Thank you.
Thank you.
As I introduced you before, a student from Azerbaijan, I told her about, but she had internet connection problem. Now she's here. Inara, please,
Hello.
the stage is yours. Start, Inara.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm Nara and I'm from Azerbaijan. As you may know, there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And today I'm going to talk about the third goal, good health and well-being. So first of all, I would like to tell you about Sustainable Development Goals. The Sustainable Development Goals, also known as the Global Goals, were adopted by the United Nations in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that by 2030, all people enjoy peace and prosperity. So I chose goal number 3, good health and well-being. And now I want to talk about the goal number 3. Sustainable Development Goal number 3 aspires to ensure health and well-being for all. It also aims to achieve universal health coverage and provide access to safe and effective medicines and vaccines for all. These are some of the goals, some of the targets of the goal. So the first target is reduce maternal mortality. The second one is end all preventable deaths under 5 years of age. Third one is fight communicable diseases. Fourth one is promote mental health. Fifth one is reduce road injuries and deaths. And the last one is prevent and treat substance abuse. So now I want to talk about the importance of good health and why it is important to have good health and well-being. Having a strong and well-adapted sense of well-being can help us overcome difficulties and help us achieve our goals in life. Research has shown that a greater sense of well-being relates to increased physical benefits, productivity, and creativeness in both employment and personal lives. These are some simple health tips to practice every day. We should drink more water, eat healthy food, be active, do sports, avoid harmful habits such as like drinking too much alcohol, smoking, and etc. And the last one is sleep for 6 and 8 hours daily, because sleep is a very important factor of our health. Also, I would like to underline that clean air is also very important for our well-being and health, because breathing clean air can lessen the possibility of having diseases like stroke, heart disease, lung cancer, as well as chronic and acute respiratory illnesses such as asthma. These are resources that I used to find the information that I needed. And this is the end of this presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Inara. Thank you very much. It was really a great presentation.
Yes, really. Thank you so much, Nara. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you touched the point of good health, the most important thing in our life. what we need, that is health. Without good health, we can't do anything. Just the most important thing is our healthy being. Thank you. Thank you,
You're welcome.
Inara. Thanks all the followers, all the audience. I read very great comments. Thank you. You always support us, our beloved audience. Thank you very much for being with us during our session. And now we're moving to another amazing student, to Mariaru Andrea Merchin. So his school's Georgian Lazar National High School. He studied there from 2018 2022. National University of Louisiana, Blaga, Sibiu. Certificate of Appreciation Role of Youth and Digital Education. In August, he got it. And he is 19 years old. He loves working with electronics and loves learning about different topics. And this hobby of his got him to work with IIU, an amazing organization which he thinks, which develops his presentation and researching skills. The newest passion of his since is obtained his driver license in cars. In Cebu, there are a lot of car shows and events related to cars. It's very interesting, really. He is more of a dog person. His dog's name is Rocky, and he is Dutch house sausage dog. They call you like this. He enjoys traveling. His last trip was to Warsaw, Poland, in an Erasmus project. And now he is writing his dissertation on his way to Estonia in another Erasmus project about bullying. Great topic. He would categorize himself as between an introvert and extrovert, somewhere in the middle. He loves meeting new people and asking them what do they think about Romanians. It's a funny topic. His friends call him Andrew, and they say that he is a funny and smart person. Great, Andrew, to hear such words and to read such words about you. So the stage is yours, please.
Thank you. Well, I would like to start by sharing my screen and sharing my presentation. And after I will finish this, I will show you a video. So my topic was about, educational opportunities for youngsters. So I started by studying the costs, by studying the costs of the studies and the living in Europe. Well, for rent, it's about 400 euros. Is the media for an apartment. If you're staying at the dorms, it's probably around 100 euros. For food is about 300 either way, and other expenses such as memberships, clothes, and so on and so forth. It's about 400 euros, I said. If you have about 1,000 euros, you can live a very good life. About the cost of the studies, I said they're around 1,000 euros. In Romania, there are about 700 or 1,200 euros for 6 years. Okay, so this is about it, about cost. And then I said about Erasmus. Erasmus is a European or organization that is offering different opportunities for the young population between 19 and 30 years old, I think, such as youth exchanges, scholarships, and even internship. And from 2022, if I remember correctly, they actually give you pocket money in the youth exchanges. After that, I wanted to talk about volunteering in my country, because at schools and universities, there are a lot of great opportunities, and such as learning CPR, how to work with the public, I don't know, working in different projects, learning about money, about teamwork, and actually managing different events. After that, I wanted to talk about the job opportunities that you have. And I actually took an example, my own faculty, that is actually a partner with two very big companies here in Romania. The first one is Continental, and the second one is Marquardt. As an intern, you would get about 500 euros the salary, and as an engineer, you'll get around 800. But the good part is that you don't have any experience, and you will still get hired there. After that, I wanted to actually talk about the best school system that is in Europe, and that is in Estonia, because they have a system where they create competition between students, and they pay the school on how many students they have, and the teacher answer for their students if they fail an exam or so on and so forth. After that, the salary of each teacher is actually different. It's not an ordinary one that's like for everyone. No, they actually negotiate their salaries with the school, because, as I said, the school gets money for how many students they actually have. And another interesting fact is that they are open-minded people, and they are always trying new technologies. After that, I wanted to talk about the uniformization. So I actually saw these problems mostly in my country, but I'm pretty sure that they are present in every other country. And I wanted to start by talking about the age gap that is between the students and the teacher. So I wanted to say this because if you, as a teacher, can connect with the student, then the student won't learn that subject very well. After that, I wanted to say about that the older teachers don't actually really know how to use technology, and they are not good at it, like at all. And most students that don't have the best financial situation, they can't quite afford laptops or phones that they can connect for their online classes, and the state doesn't usually help them. And the last two things I wrote down, that the teachers are forced to retire at a very old age. So they lack the motivation to actually teach the students properly. They are just doing their job. And this is the last one. This is from my university that I saw it. Some teachers tend to favorize the girls more than the boys. So yeah. And thank you for watching. And now I would like to show you a video about Erasmus projects. Let me just share my screen with you. Okay. All right. Share. I will stop the sharing and I will share the other screen. Oh, here it is. Yeah. I hope you can see my screen properly.
Yes.
Education, training, youth and sport. The EU cares about them all.
Just no voice. While sharing the screen, did you click the voice to share the?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Let me just stop this sharing and start another one because it's simpler this way.
Share,
Yeah.
and there is the button.
Oh, share the sound. Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. Let me just put it from the beginning. Okay.
Education, training, youth and sport. The EU cares about them all. Since 1987, the Erasmus programme has been supporting mobility of young people. More than 3 million students have studied in another European country thanks to Erasmus. The upgraded version of the EU programme, adopted by the European Parliament for 2014 to 2020, is Erasmus+. 14.7 billion euros will provide opportunities for over 4 million Europeans to study, train, gain experience and volunteer abroad. This represents more than 2 billion euros a year, in which the majority of funds goes to education and traineeships. 1/10 goes to youth, and a bit less than 2% for sport. There's a stronger focus on improving young people's job prospects and tackling youth unemployment. 5 years after graduation, the unemployment rate of young people who studied or trained abroad is 23% lower than that of their peers who didn't. But who can benefit from these mobility exchanges? Students in higher education, up to 2 million, including 450,000 trainees. Students seeking vocational training and apprentices, up to 650,000 grants. Volunteers and youth workers, about 500,000 young people, and teachers, youth trainers and other staff. Opportunities here for 800,000 people.
And this is my project, and I hope that you enjoyed it.
Wow.
Great.
Thank you.
Great. Oh, so wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, really, we enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you very much.
I really appreciate Erasmus project. They make the student cooperate and collaborate, and finally to travel.
Oh yes, exactly.
The most exciting thing about the Erasmus project is traveling.
Yes.
And exchange culture. Okay, and now we are going to our last guest, last young voice, we move to Georgia again. And this guy is from Georgia, Nicholas Kuniava. He's in the 12th grade of Clavity Village Public School. Last year, he was the Innovation Camp Manager. Great, awesome. He also participated in a number of Georgian Olympiads in various subjects. In 2022, he was a speaker in the international project, the 21st Digital Skills. He also received an important certificate of GESI internship. He's the manager of mini company Handcrafts, which operates in the school within the framework of the military subject. In 2020, this company took the second honorable place within Georgia. Great, proud of you, Nicholas. So the stage is yours, please.
Thank you so
Welcome,
much.
Nicholas.
Thank you for inviting me. I would like to say, unfortunately, I do not have a web camera, but hopefully that will not be a problem because I will talk about a subject that I have chosen, which I think is very interesting. It is climate change. Well, first of all, I would like to thank Inga for inviting me. She is my teacher at geography at my school, and I really appreciate her. And I would also like to thank the IIU team for giving us youngsters such an opportunity to talk about such serious problems and about sustainable development goals. So I've chosen one, that is climate change. So what is climate change? Climate change refers to the change in the environmental condition of the Earth. It refers to a climatic oscillation of the Earth, which was or is being manifested in different regions or areas of the Earth. In the past, climate changes have affected areas of the Earth, and also changes continue in modern times as well. But it is the worst that it has ever been in 2 million years. It has become a global concern over the last few decades, and these changes are having various effects on the ecosystem and ecology. We can say that the melting of the polar ice caps of the Earth is changing rapidly, and it is causing the life that is already thriving there to die, and it is also causing the sea levels to rise on the planet, and then cause tsunamis on the edges and the beaches of the continents and the countries, and this can also cause life-threatening situations. And due to these changes, a number of species of plants and animals have already gone extinct. So why is this happening? People might be asking that. So the main cause of climate change is human activity on the Earth. We burn fossil fuels and convert land from forest to agriculture, and the usage of these fossil fuels has increased and increased gradually over the time as the demand has gotten bigger. And as the population of the Earth is increasing, it is inevitable that we will need to use more and more of these harmful fossil fuels to meet the demands of human life. So when did this start? The climate has started changing a long time ago due to human activities, but we haven't known about it since the last century. And in the last century, we have noticed its effect on human life. We also noticed that these greenhouse gases affect the temperature of the Earth, which affects agriculture, water supply, transportation, and several other problems. Of course, there are natural reasons for climate change as well, like volcanic eruption, solar radiation, tectonic plate movement, and etc. While we can't point fingers to who exactly is responsible for climate change, we can say which countries burn the most fuels. Rich countries like United States, Canada, Japan, and much of Western Europe account for just 12% of the global population today, but are responsible for 50% of all the planet warming greenhouse gases released from fossil fuels and industry. Over the last
170 years. Now, these global events also affect Georgia. During the last 5 years, the record rainfall in my country was preceded by 3 years of drought. And in the summer of 2017 in Kakheti, due to lack of precipitation and extremely high temperatures, large areas were burned and the damage amounted to $50 million. Also, the climate of the connecting area of Eurasia is mostly regulated by the forests of Georgian mountains. And in the recent historical past, forests have surrounded the shores of River Mtwari and Arazi, and in a wide curved line and reach the Caspian Sea. But today, due to climate change, they remain just as small islands, and the total area does not exceed 20,000 hectares. And the remaining part also dries up gradually, and it has been a long time since River Mtwari has lost the function of feeding the soil with necessary humidity, and the vegetation around it and the plants around it are already disappearing slowly. Now, this isn't only happening in Georgia. Clearly, similar things can happen anywhere, and it is happening everywhere and every time. And there are ways that we can stop or at least slow climate change and global warming down. We can keep fossil fuels in the ground, and instead we could invest in renewable energy, switch to sustainable transport, restore nature to absorb carbon, plant trees, protect rainforests like Amazon, which account for more than 50% of the oxygen released in the atmosphere of the total forests. We can also protect the oceans, clean the waters, clean the rivers. And these are only some of the things we must do to at least slow down climate change. But I think these steps are a good start. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicholas, for the valuable thoughts, for touching such kind of problems. Really, global warming is a real problem for our planet. And from today's session, I learned that in future, you will not let our planet to be destroyed, and you will find out the ways to save our planet.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And your strong young people are our strong future. Thank you for your great young voices. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. Europa, well done today. Oh my God, I am very, very happy, really. Because today is a very important day. I cited an interesting and important day await us. And this is true. Yes, it was a very, very excellent, interesting, important session today. Thanks to all students for providing excellent information. Wow. Today we heard the voice of European young people. It was an amazing start. We will meet soon with new students together. Yes, IIU is a change. IIU brings a change. IIU is a revolution. Thanks to all students and all teachers. Congratulations.
Thank you. Well done, everyone. Thanks. And till our new meeting with our new students, with our new young voices.
Yes.
Take care.